Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shensta the poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, dakumenya mawado mako. Nani enedera shire. Oh, utani wako.
Vichekesho. Mkisongaza. Mahojiano moto moto. Stories za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya, I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world right here at TAS TV. Join me, LAVIN NYAGOWA, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then. Good morning. It's another beautiful Wednesday and we are back with the morning digest, and as always I get to have an amazing guest every time we have this amazing show, just to get to talk about certain things that we encounter on a daily, or things that at one particular point you'll have to deal with. Karibuni sana to today's episode. My beautiful name is LAVIN NYAGOWA, and before we do anything, remember to follow TAS TV across all social media platforms at TAS TV Official on YouTube, TAS TV _official on Twitter, TAS TV _KE on Instagram and TikTok, and TAS TV on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us every other time, and today is just another beautiful day. So allow me to plug you with the best. We talk about the Smart Shopper. They are our amazing sponsors of this amazing episode. So on this particular episode, we get to focus on these amazing bags that go for 2,500 and 1,000 bob. Remember to call the number 0798154042 to make your order. And in case you are in Thika Town, you can come to our location at Nema Plaza, Tante Africa Studios, second floor, sorry. And if you are not within Thika, remember you can just call the same number and make your order. We do deliveries countrywide, but at a very small fee. So without again so much talking, allow us to get straight into today's episode. Karibu sana, Madam Jane.
Thank you so much, LAVIN.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be at Tante Africa Studios.
Yes.
And once again, so that we may interact and talk about our health.
Yes.
I'm excited. Welcome, my viewers.
Asante sana. Thank you so much for coming back another time.
Thank you.
So just to put our audience on the know, this is a part 2 of the previous episode that we did on reality check last week, part 1. So in case you missed the part 1 episode, kindly go to TAS TV Official on YouTube, just search a reality check and search the topic. The topic was nutritional impact on health conditions. That was the topic we are talking about. So today we still have the same topic, nutritional impact impact on health conditions, but this is a part 2, and that is why we are having it on the morning digest. So we got questions from our audience last time, and that is what we want to start with on this episode, right?
Thank
yes.
you.
So the first question from our audience was, are there situations where dietary supplements are recommended to address nutritional gaps, and what are some of the precautions that people should look out for when considering these supplements?
Thank you for that wonderful question.
Yeah.
As we stated last time, I will repeat that we are what we eat. And at the same time, we consider our cells the foundation of the bodies that we live in. And when we talk about dietary supplements, there are all conditions where you'll find a doctor prescribing a drug for a certain condition and also add a supplement. In most cases, you find the doctors are recommending vitamin C, which is very vital. You find there are others who will be given vitamin D. And at the end of the day, you find the doctors also sensitizing the patients on using food supplements. In the world of nutrition, food supplements are not taken to be drugs. They are foods. They are fruits. And when we talk about the impact of the foods that we eat, we talk on the issues of immunity building, because in most cases when you find that somebody is sick, the immunity goes down. If this person has been on medication for a long time, it is very compromised. So you realize that the doctors will go ahead and deal with this patient and advise them to take a lot of fruits, take a lot of veggies, and also, if where necessary, they use the food supplements. So I can recommend and I can just advise that when you are with your doctor, it is good to inquire what particular nutrient or what particular supplement you're going to use. So the doctors are recommending and they are prescribing. And we have doctors that we are working with who have really embraced the products. Because in most cases, when we are talking about food supplements, we are talking about extracts from plants, fruits, and they have been formulated and packaged as medication or as drugs. And when we are talking about whether they are recommended, yes, they are. And just a pointer. Recently, just before we closed the year 2023, KEMRI, our own institution here in Kenya, went live, and they were telling us that they are opening up or setting up a hub at KEMRI to research on the stem cell, so that they can be able to curb the lifestyle diseases. This is where now the world of supplements comes, and we are very excited because they were saying we are getting into that situation or position whereby the doctor will recommend and prescribe products. When they were talking about products, they were talking about food supplements. And that is where we are. And as I said last time, I am working with a Malaysian company. It is AG Nutrition, Alpha Group Nutrition. And our product is already a notch higher. It is backed by science and technology. And we are using products that have been formulated through nanotechnology, making the product get into the body, go straight to the cell through the cerebral glands. And once it gets to the blood stream. That is where we get the blood cells, the white and red.
Red, yeah.
The blood cells. It is able now to repair the cells that are damaged, replicate the good ones so that they may be multiplied. We all know our bodies carry trillions and trillions of cells.
Yeah.
So the damaged ones are repaired, they are replicated, they are replaced, and you find that once all this is done, there is that renewal in the body. And you are as healthy as your cell is. Okay. So when the cell is done with, it is repaired, it is renewed, and now there is that multiplication. You find that the body heals itself. When the doctor gives the medication, he tells you to take this 3 times a day or 1 times 2 after meals. Why? Because the drug may be too strong for you. So when we are recommending the food supplements, we usually tell our clients and our patients to use the supplement early morning before anything else, so that it may lay a foundation. And because they are foods and fruits, you find that by the time you take your breakfast and your drugs, they will not wear you down. The drugs will not be too strong because you already have taken a baka. You have already laid a foundation. When the drugs come into your body, they find that you had already taken something. So the question that about the precautions, I would say it is good to consult your doctor, and because the supplements are for the healthy and the ailing, it is always good to get advice from the doctors, from the dietitians, from the nutritionists, and then you know where you start.
Yes. So I hope you got your answers. The second question from our audience was, how does cultural and regional dietary habits influence the prevalence of certain health conditions? And are there lessons that can be learned or adopted from different cuisines? So I think, kama for instance, the way when you go to sherehe za huku, utapata there's so much waru, minji, all that mixed in one. And when you go to the other side of the country, we have samaki, omena, and all that, which... So how then does that influence prevalence of certain health conditions, and what are the lessons?
Very good question. We all know that we are diverse in our ethnic groups. And you realize that certain regions are accustomed to eating different from the other one. When we talk about how it impacts or how it affects, I can only say we sample some regions. You realize that in the central province of this country of Kenya, we have foods that are eaten there, and those are the foods that are grown there. And then let's go to the western, the Nyanza region. They have their foods. And when you get to the health part, you can almost tell which regions suffer this and which region suffers that. Central province, it has been rated very high where issues of diabetes are concerned. Why? Because they are used to eating foods that are full of what? Fats. You find that they are eating a lot of potatoes, they are eating a lot of cabbages, they are eating rice. Those are the staple foods. And you realize that at the end of the day, that there are some gaps that are created in our nutrition building, you get that when you build those gaps, that is where the diseases come from. In our bodies, if we do not, we talked much last time about eating healthy, balanced diets. When you do not give your body the fats, the carbohydrates that they need, the proteins that they need, the vitamins that they need, those bodies will ask for that. And how does the body communicate? It communicates through pain. So if your body needs potassium, until you give it potassium, it will not stop hurting. If it is calcium deficient, it will not stop hurting. The bones will not stop hurting until you give them calcium. Go to Nyanza. Those are people who are known to eat a lot of fish. There are people who are used to eat a lot of whole meal. If you talk about the ugali concept, it is real whole grain in Asiagwa. When you talk about ugali in the central, they have the maize, but you'll find somebody going to the posho mill to get it sifted. Why? Because they have gotten used. So you realize that in these regions, various conditions are associated with what they eat. And then you come to the intellectuals. Which part do we have a lot of professors? Those places where they feed with omega from the fish, they get a lot of professors. We have doctors. I'm not saying the other areas we do not have them, but our food contribute a lot on what we become. And as we are saying, when you bring up a child, from the time the mother conceived, that mother should be feeding well. She should make sure that she's getting the nutrients that are healthy to the baby and to herself. If you talk about the folic acid, it is vital for healthy development. That mother will be required to eat a lot of proteins. You know, because that baby is growing in her and will require much. Every part of the diet that we talk about is very essential. And we should be careful even when the baby comes, because you find that children who are fed very well, very healthy, they are also very fast in growing. They are also very clever when they go to school. They are able to be very vibrant, unlike a child who was malnutrited. So it is important to take care of our children even from
a very young age.
Because it helps even the mind.
Okay. So I hope you tumeelewa that question. So if you're the one who did ask that one, there you have your answer. The third question was, could you talk about, I think we talked about this, the relationship between nutrition and mental health, and how certain foods may impact mood or stress levels. Maybe just kupitia juju, because I think we touched on it last time.
We did, and in depth. For that who has asked that, I advise people to eat regularly. Kula unaposikia njaa.
Usingoje kuna time specific.
Usingoje kuna saa. Because we are a working nation. And our production is based on our intakes. If you're not energetic, your production will be low. And it will also be slow. So it is good to eat regularly, because there are some people who are not very good eaters. And after a few hours, you start feeling hungry. Or maybe what you ate was too light. It was these processed foods that we eat.
Junk
Because
food.
When you eat rice and vegetables, you are not done. We talk about carbohydrates because they give us energy. And if you are going to the field, you need to go to the field feeling energetic. So it is important that you eat regularly, because when you're not energetic, your energies go down, and you become, you get bad moods. So you may get annoyed with anything that is passing by, anyone who is passing by, and they have not told you anything. Maybe a cat was passing and you are just hungry, so your moods have been interfered with, and you kick it off. Why? You should have picked a fruit. You should have picked something and bite, and that will increase. That will be able to boost your energy. Yes. Because when you are not, I was saying last time that the white man told us that a hungry person is an ugly person. Why? Because energy comes from within. So if you're sure for a few hours you'll not be able to get to your eateries, your eating place, eat well in the morning. So it is actually right to kukula like very heavy food in the morning, and then throughout the day, bite kidogo. That is why we have breaks. In the morning, eat like a king. Sit down, eat. Take your time. Eat. And eat quality food. Quality in that it has the carbohydrates, it have the proteins, you have the veggies, you have the vitamins that you need, and then your body will remain energetic. And then between breakfast, we have some break time at 10. Take something, a bite, and then remain hydrated. Because a little dehydration can also cause you bad moods, bad tempers. Because your body is telling you, I need some water. And you're not giving it. So you realize it starts now fighting you. And it becomes very hard for you now to concentrate. So let us remain hydrated. Let us remain energetic through eating well. Make some bites. We call them lunches. Before lunch, between in the morning when you took your breakfast, at 10 take a lunch, and then at lunch hour eat something. As the day goes off, reduce now the intake, because last time we said as you are going to bed, you don't need to go very heavy in the stomach. Because you are resting, and because you ate well through the day, your body will not be asking for too much. Because we said when we go to sleep, we go to rest. We don't go to work. So in the day, it is the time we need food. Interesting. So the final question before we go on a break, we have we're talking about children's nutrition here. So what role does early childhood nutrition play in preventing health conditions later in life, and how can parents establish healthy eating habits for their children? Thank you very much. Earlier on we said, from the time a baby is conceived, health is important for the mother and for the baby. And if we can talk about eating healthy for the benefit of this child, we said this woman needs a lot of folic acid. This woman needs a lot of fruits and veggies. And you realize that the minerals, the vitamins in the fruits and the veggies helps the body to remain well in immunity. Because when the mother becomes sickly, it affects the baby in the stomach or in the womb. So we need to take care of what we are giving our children. We need to take care of what we are taking as mothers. When we are breastfeeding, we need also to feed well, so that even the milk that we are feeding the baby from our breasts is nutritious.
Yeah.
It is full of calcium, because for the baby who is growing, the bones require a lot of calcium.
A lot of calcium.
Milk is one source that is known to have a lot of calcium. We get calcium even from fruits that have seeds.
Yeah.
We have the fish, yeah, and at the same time we include the fruits for the baby.
Yes.
Let the baby start feeding on fruits as early as possible.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, our children need to be taken care of from the early stage before they even go to school. And when they go to school, let us monitor what these children are taking. Because we said we become what we eat.
What we eat, yes.
If this child feeds poorly, even when he goes to school, this baby will not even concentrate. Yeah? If he's not fed well, if he's not full as he leaves the school, if you do not pack a snack for this baby, they will lack concentration. And you realize that where children are well taken care of, they grow fast,
and they become
also
very active.
Become very active.
Yeah.
Very active. And you compare this with the children who are malnutrited, as I had said.
Yes.
You realize that even as young as they are not joyful. You know, there is not that excitement from the inside.
Yeah.
This child is not as vibrant as a child who was fed well. And most of the times, it is not about money.
Yeah.
It is about quality. And we do not say that whatever comes from the shop or from the supermarket is healthy.
Yes.
Not always. What comes on the table depends with what it contains.
Yes.
So if this baby was given a pack of a fruit, may it be a banana or an apple, and then a cake or a potato, a sweet potato piece, depending, that child will have some balance. Because maybe by the lunch hour they will be given the foods that the school has prepared. If not that, maybe the mother had packed
lunch,
that. But between the time this child leaves the house and the time lunch is served, there is that break. He will be able to take her snack, her fruit, her water, also her porridge, and then he'll be energized for the rest of the morning and wait for lunch.
Yes.
So children, it is important that they are fed well.
Yes.
They need more than we do because they are growing.
Yes.
Their bodies are developing. And you want to work on the mind, you want to work on the bones, and you want to work on the eyes. Every part of this child is developing.
Yes.
So how was the foundation? And that is what we are saying. Let children be fed well.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, with that, we go on a very short commercial break. When we come back, we'll finish up on the questions from the audience and do some other questions that we left out from the last session. So thank you so much for joining us, and see you guys after the break.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shensta the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, ndakumenya mawado makuru. Nani anedera shire. Oh, rutani waku.
vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Muziki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida?
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie. I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits. We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations. Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities. Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments. Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. with me, LAVIN NYAGOWA and Hazel Jeru, only on The Unfiltered.
What's your name?
My name is Kevin Kakum.
Kitui Francis.
From which school? Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
What did you learn while at TAS TV?
Improvement of my skills in graphics, such as motion graphics, video editing, photography, also communication skills.
Camera operations, video editing, and improved my skills in graphic design.
Would you recommend anyone?
Yes, nilikuwa hapa TAS, skills zangu zili improve on communication with fellow co-workers and teamwork when doing certain projects.
Yes, new skills in photography. Communication, I have built more in communications through interaction with other colleagues or people outside there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your attachment at TAS TV?
7.
8.
Generally, what would you say about TAS TV?
Wow, it's amazing being here.
I think it's the best place to be. Yeah.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying put. Remember, this is the morning digest on TAS TV. In case you haven't followed us pale kwa social media, please remember to follow TAS TV official on YouTube and on all the other platforms. So now, before we went on that break, we were talking about children's nutrition and how and why it is very important to feed your children well. And Madam Jane just made us understand that actually mtoto akikula vizuri, they actually develop well. They become very active, they become very proper, wanafanya vitu zao haraka haraka. The body is also fully developed vizuri. So Madam Jen, our second last question on the questions that we got from our audience last time, we have the economic factors. Somebody asked, how does economic factors impact access to nutritious foods, and what can be done to address food disparities in different socioeconomic groups?
Wow, thank you so much on that.
Yes.
We all know that we wake up in the morning to go to work.
Yes.
So that at the end of the day, we may have something in our pocket.
Yes.
If we are waking up in the morning to go to the farm, we go to farm so that at the end of the season we may get some food,
yeah,
some income. And we can say without income, without economic empowerment,
yes,
it becomes hard for majority of us who depend on buying food, because of importance is food.
Yes.
When you are well fed, you are able to go out and work. When one is hungry,
yes,
that person becomes unproductive because you cannot go to work on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
The bottom line is money. Where we are talking about nutrition, when people are impoverished, it also becomes very hard to eat well.
Well, yeah.
Because, as we are saying, it is not necessarily that we shall go buying every food stuff, but there are some that you may not be growing in your area.
Yeah.
And especially because of the economic changes, you realize that people are more inclined to farming using the fertilizers. So the soils are already toxinated.
Damaged, yeah.
You know, the soils are toxic. And if this farmer is farming for commercial benefit, it will be very hard for this person to be organic. If he's not concerned about what he's taking to the people, he will farm anyhow without minding the benefit of the health of the food. So economically, we pray that the government empowers people in education, educating them on how to farm, because it is not necessarily that you may be so wealthy to farm or to grow some food stuff outside there for your kitchen. But if you do not know how to do it, if you do not have the economic power, you do not have money to go for the seeds that are recommended, it may be very hard. But all the same, we usually say, just find something. Get yourself involved in something that will give you some income, so that you may be able to get a place that you can grow your the kitchen gardens. There are some groups and organizations that are coming to the people, telling them, even if you are renting, you can still grow your veggies even on the wall of the house that you are living. There are those horizontal and vertical containers that they teach people how to farm on. If you are so concerned about your health, about the nutritional value, it does not cost much. But for that person who is so down there, he's very impoverished. He's not able to know forward or backward. That is the group we are talking about. It is good for the administrators, even in our estates and in our villages, to get to these people, educate them, let them know it is not a must that you may have money in your pocket. It is not a must that you may go to the shopping center to buy. You can grow. But how do they start without the money? So that is why you realize that people who are really poor, they cannot even afford what I am telling them to supplement with. Their health is really affected. And you realize that in those areas and places, that is where diseases are many, or cases of diseases are many, because they do not know how to protect or prevent themselves from that. And there are some people who are, in their mind, they only know that to eat healthy, I have to have money. So they need to be told, they need to be educated, they need to be sensitized that what we eat is what we become. You may be eating the whole grain flour that you just took your maize to the portion mill. It was is it gliding? It was prepared, and your flour has everything, you know? It is whole. Because in most cases you realize that when you go and tell the portion man to sift your grain, he gets the husk, he gets the heart, which has oils, and then what remains is sugar, that fat. So when you come back home with your flour, you have thrown away the nutrients, and you come home with empty flour. It does not give you anything. You just fill the stomach. So for that person who is crying, I am not well off, it is important that people get together. There are areas, especially in our villages, people have organized themselves to empower themselves economically. So that person, I would urge them to just get together. You can look for a group of 10. Get to the leader in your area. They will organize you. They will allege how you can be educated on economic generating kind of a thing, a communal thing that you can do together, and you get some profits, and then you'll be able to work on your farm. You'll be able to work on whatever else you want to improve in your place. Because if you sit down there alone, it will remain the same. You will sing about there is no money, especially these days. There is a lot of noise. There is no money. But if you come back and correct or put together your friends and people who are with a like mind, that we must change our economic status. I'm telling you, in 3-4 months, life will be different. People will have decided to lay some chicken. They will get eggs. They will sell some and they will eat some. And at the end of the day, the children will be healthy. Then there will be something left in the pocket. Because when we are healthy, even money remains in the pocket. Because the money that we use to go to the hospital, we will not go to the hospital, it will be put into something else. And especially our body will be healthy. So economically, health becomes compromised.
Okay, so I hope from that particular point umetoka na kitu. If you have not, please rudi nyuma, try to watch it again, understand everything that has been said. If you're healthy, hata pesa inabaki kwa mfuko. Okay, so the final question is, are there links between sustainable, environmentally friendly food choices and improved health, and how can individuals contribute to both personal and planetary well-being through their diet?
Yes. Let's talk about nature. Without nature, we are nothing. Without nature, we have nothing. So, in the times that we are living, we are in very deadly times because the environment is polluted. We are living in a time where the global warming is an issue. And at the end of the day, you realize that much as you are trying to do things right, much as you want to go back to the basics, it is becoming very hard. Why? Because the foods that we are growing, we have GMOs, we have the pesticides and the fertilizers that are being used. So at the end of the day, when we go to buy our food from the market, do you ever inquire from this feeder how this has been grown? He may not, even if you ask, he may not be able to answer because it was brought to him or he went to it.
And even if they're the ones who've planted it, chances that they'll tell you the truth are very minimal.
Good. And sometimes he may not even tell you that he used fertilizer. He will tell you my vegetables are organic. And he knows too well From day one, they used some fertilizers on the soil.
Yeah.
When they sprouted, they started spraying with pesticides. They will not say that.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, they have the foliar spray so that they may go fast. Yeah? And when you go to the market, you're looking for that very flowery sukuma wiki spinach, that cabbage that does not have a spot. Yeah? And you think that that is the most healthy one. And I want to enlighten people. Most of the times, the vegetables and that sukuma wiki, that cabbage, that fruit that you look at and it is like a mirror, you can almost see your face on it.
Yes.
It is one that has been farmed with a lot of sprays
and fertilizers.
Rarely will you find people using the manure. Because in the days when we were growing up, we did not know about fertilizer on the soil. We knew that the farm is prepared, and then you go with the manure. You pour it and plant. And after that, you wait for the rains. And when the rains come, the plant grows.
They grow.
And in those days, the cases of diseases, lifestyle diseases, were very minimal.
Yes.
You could almost tell how many diabetic cases you have had in a whole province.
Yeah.
But today, every village
has somebody
with issues of diabetes, issues of cancer. There is a lot of diseases that have come simply because of the foods
that we eat,
that we are planting, and the way we plant them. It is important that we take care of nature. Let us take care of nature. Let us, as much as possible, even if the cabbage you are planting will not grow so big, because there are challenges, because that is the one that the insects will come picking. Let us try to minimize the use of fertilizers and the pesticides, because you realize, even as we cook our foods, and as we wash the vegetables and the like, even when we wash the fruits, you may not wash away the chemical factor in the vegetables and in the fruits. But when you have grown this particular vegetable at your backyard, on the wall, as I was telling you, there are people who are educating us on how to grow, to put some trellises
on the wall.
On the walls. And then you put your sukuma wiki, your terere, and then you get a very healthy food. As much as possible, let us minimize. As farmers, let us, much as we want money, quick money, let us consider the health factor. And by doing so, we shall be helping the nature. Because nature is everything. Nature, when we do not have a clean environment, you realize that in the areas where there is a lot of toxic deposits, people ill a lot. You find that even as young as 3-year-olds, because they are out there and they are inhaling the toxins, they start medical issues when they are very young. So we can only say we need to clean our environment. Let us go to Mother Nature and help it to help us.
Interesting, guys. And looks like we're going to have another part. You see, the more we get into the conversation, the better we understand it, and the more we fall in love with it. Because at the end of the day, we want something that is good for us, that is good for our body, and that is good for you and the environment that is around you. So we have some products on the table. We're going to be talking about those products in a few. But before then, my last question would be, how can consumers navigate food labeling and, you know, the marketing strategies that, you know, companies use to label their foods and how they sell it out to the general public? And are there some common pitfalls that you'd want our audiences to be aware of when it comes to nutrition? Nini wanafaa kuangalia kwa hizi packages and the marketing and all that?
So they are asking about the products on nutrition.
Yes.
It is very important. Even before you start using that particular product, it is important that you know how that product is manufactured. There is usually some confusion on herbal and food supplements. When we talk about herbal, you find people even going around with some juices or some drinks.
The Masai dawa.
Anyway, umewasema. Unapata kuna watu wanatembea wakiuza na vibuyu. Or rather, they are in jelly cans. And they call them, they are herbal, and they are good when you know how they have been formulated. You don't just get somebody there on the streets and then you start taking. You do not know what it contains. So it is important, just as you are careful when you get into a restaurant and you want to take some lunch, you want to know what whatever you have asked for or whatever you have ordered is what has been brought on the table. The same case applies. We have various companies that are giving us the nutritional products, the superfoods, and they are very good. They are awesome because in most cases our products are coming from America, the Asian regions, and you realize that in these areas the Chinese they also have very rich nutrient value. Where their products are concerned, they usually really work on what they have in their fields. When you go to the Indian regions, they have very vital plants that they concentrate on, and that is where they beat us at. Because you realize that the Africans we get from outside. In most cases you realize that the things that we grow here, they are exported and then we import them after they have been added value. Let's talk about our coffee. Our coffee mostly we do not process it here. Most of the times it gets to the outside countries, they import, or rather we export. And they go work on our coffee. And when it comes back to us, it is full of value. And that is why you find that it is expensive. When a client or a patient is looking for a food supplement or a superfood, let this person get, especially these days, we are very enlightened because we can almost go to the Google search and get everything we want. If I was telling you about my product, Agisela, get down and get to know what does Agisela have. Is what Jane is telling us it contains included in it? Is it full of all these benefits? If you go to the other LAVIN product, does it have the nutrients she's telling us about? And in most cases you realize that they put the contents. They will advise you on what is included. And then at the same time, do your research. Get to know which one can help us. These days we are almost getting out of the food supplements that we used to swallow with water. Simply because people have learned and they have gotten enlightened that diseases come because of the nutritional gaps that we have created. And the nutritional gaps go to the cell.
The cells.
Many of the problems that people are ailing from, if you go to the hospital, the doctor will sample your blood because that is where the disease will be gotten from. So when you work on your cells, where due to your eating lifestyles, you developed some gaps, and you fill those gaps, health is assured. So we can only say that it is important you check on the contents, what it contains. Let me not tell you you will get some benefit on calcium from this while it has nothing. You know? And we should not be ignorant. At the same time, check the date of manufacture and expiry. When you go to the supermarkets, most of the times you realize that there is nothing that expires. What happens? Especially if you buy some product and find that it has 2 stickers on where the date of manufacture and date of expiry is. Peel that first one, see what was other, because it might have expired last month. But because we are in business, we are not going to throw it away. They usually tell us that the products have, before they leave the shelf, they have about 3 months shelf life, after shelf life. You know? So even if you take them today and they are expiring tomorrow, you can still use them in 3 months. But how true is it? So check on the contents. Do your research. And also check on when this product was manufactured. If my products are not moving, I have no way that I can go back and backdate. Because as I told the viewers, our products come from Malaysia. And we usually order. After we order, they are delivered. And as I told you, the superfoods are backed by science and technology. There are people who are working overnight. The scientists are working overnight to make sure that this reaches the consumer or it reaches the market that they need before long. So by the time I am exhausting my products, I have some other more coming. So there is no way you will find that we have stocked our products on shelves. We don't. It is you order and then it is delivered or it is ferried to you. There is no way you will find Jane walking with products, superfoods, on the streets that I had a stock that I am hawking. No. So I would encourage people, especially you who is there and you want to work on your health, to improve your health, get knowledge on superfoods because they are purely foods, they are purely fruits, and they are not drugs. And that is why we have no wars with doctors. Because we complement each other. A patient comes and he tells you, this is what I have been taking for 20 years. I am diabetic. I have taken this drug for the longest time. The doctor has changed it severally, but I'm still suffering. So I will not stop this patient from taking medication. But I will tell this patient to go take some food supplement, and I will recommend what I have. Yes, and I usually tell my patients, my clients, as you take the medication, also follow-ups are very, very important. Get to the doctor when he tells you to attend your clinics. Because this doctor, after you have been consistently on healthy eating and you are supplementing, the doctor will realize, by the way, your levels are normalizing. And if you're taking several drugs, you find that some doctors are reducing the dosage. And that is the beauty of it. But the bottom line, let us know what we are taking into our body.
Interesting. So now, producer Manikimbiza, so let's discuss this. Please explain to us, what are these?
Okay. Yeah. I will talk about this because this is the most used, the most important for you, the healthy one, and for you, the ailing. We call it Agisela. Agisela is the flagship product from AG Nutrition. And Agisela has been formulating using 8 ingredients, extracts from fruits and plants. We have the pomegranate, we have the curcumin, we have the Gymnema sylvester, we have white peach, we have white olive, we have mixed berries, and we have the whole grain. So all these ingredients, just in a brief, all these extracts, and we have sakula, there are 8. We have sakula. So we have ingredients, extracts that have been gotten from the plants, from the fruits, from the olive oils, and they are put together through technology to take care of the holistic health of everyone. Such that if you came to us and you are working on your blood pressure, that is what you know is ailing you, we shall recommend Agisela and AG block, and you go use it along with the medication of the doctor. You don't stop using the medication from the doctor. And then if your body had another issue, in most cases we usually say blood pressure has several cousins. And if you have been hurting for several years, you may find that you have developed some diabetes. You may find that you started with diabetes and it called its cousin blood pressure. It is in your body, but you came complaining about your blood pressure. So I'll give you the Agisela, and for your immunity purposes, I will recommend AG block so that you may combine the two. So at the same time, I'll also recommend a cleanser. The doctors tell us that death starts in the colon. So for starters, we use the fiber Lee to cleanse your system. And when we use the fiber Lee, it is able to help the body now get the nutrients as they should be. Even when you eat your vegetables and fruits, you are able to get the benefit of the products. At the same time, we have several others which we shall maybe talk about when we have time. But for that person who is asking, I have been on drugs forever. I'm even looking at the drugs and I get nauseated. There are people who have reached that point. And those are the people who frequent our office because they come and tell you how long they have taken their medication, but they have not realized the tangible change. So we usually say the medication will manage the conditions, but nutrition is the product that will get into the cells and rejuvenate those cells, repair those cells, renew them, replicate them. And when all that is done, along with the drug, the nutritional products or the nutritional supplements come on board together. And you realize that after 3 to 6 months, depending on how long this problem has been in the body, the problem has gone down. You realize if it were issues with your blood sugar, they have been normalized. So we do not tell people that we are selling drugs. We tell them we are giving you what you are not getting from your food, so that your body may be healthy once again.
Interesting, interesting. And I saw most of the questions ask about the skin. So probably in the next episode, because right now I am booking Madam Jen for next week again. We have not covered the part of the questions that were left from last week. We've only covered feedback from our audience who watched our previous show. So we are going to be talking about skin next time and how supplements could actually come in handy to support the skin, just to make sure that you don't end up using so many things on your skin when all you need is just, you know, probably 1 or 2 supplements,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So thank you so much for everyone who's joined us today. We look forward to having you another time, same place next week on the Morning Digest. Madam Jen, thank you so much for coming every other time.
Thank you so much even for inviting me. Yes. And I'm surely very delighted that we can interact with our people. We really need to know what is ailing us. Exactly. What is ailing us? Because once we know the cause and we deal with the cause, we shall be a healthy nation. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And until next week, God bless you. My name is LAVIN NYAGOWA and this is the Morning Digest. Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world right here at TAS TV. Join me, LAVIN NYAGOWA, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.